Well, I guess I would reiterate, you mentioned that it's just a select group that's participating, or select stakeholders that are participating in this process. You know, Snowbird's view is that this should be an open process, like the Mountain Accord process has been, that involves hundreds of people. And you know, I believe that any of you that want to participate in this process should be able to do that.
Thank you. There's a important vote coming up on July 14th, is that correct? That all the major stakeholders in Mountain Accord are coming together to decide if the 416 acres should be included in the process moving forward. Mountain Accord's charter is with Summit County, Wasatch County, and Salt Lake County. So our concern is that, and I would like you to take the lead on saying, let's slow the flow. Let's give Utah County a chance to come to the table. We've only got 2 mayors out of 25 that have any idea what's going on. The mayor of Provo doesn't know what's going on. The mayor of Alpine doesn't know what's going on. The mayor of Linden doesn't know what's going on. So I would challenge you to take the lead and say, we need to back off for a certain amount of time to give Utah County a chance to get caught up and to explore what this really means. In my view, as soon as that contiguous 416 acres of land is given to you, it's a game changer. It creates Ski Link South. It gives you all of the avenues to get commercialization up American Fork Canyon. And we have not been part of that process. So Mountain Accord has violated their own charter if they do include the 416 acres of Utah County land. So maybe just talk to that. And I challenge you to take the lead and say, hey, Mountain Accord, we need to go back and invite all the mayors from Utah County to have a seat at the table.
So I guess we'll just respectfully disagree on that. You know, I'm not willing to go to Mountain Accord to ask them to reconsider that. You know, that area and the acres that you're talking about, that a large majority of that has been discussed for years and years and years and years, with countless numbers of meetings, you know, an open process that anyone could attend, you know, not only through Mountain Accord, but also as a part of the Matheson Wilderness Bill, which never passed, but it was thoroughly vetted through both those processes.
So my name is Dale Goodman. I'm the Public Works Director here in American Fork City, and I'm a council member in a community here in Utah Valley. So I have an interest in the water rights, water conservation and such, and have big concerns with development in the watershed and the use of water there. But as a Public Works Director, I deal every day with developers, and that's all Snowbird is, just another developer with dollar signs as their primary concern. And enough is never enough for a developer. There's always more money out there they want to make, and that's their biggest concern. If they have land they want to swap, it's because it's of no value to them. And so it may be pristine wilderness, but they're looking at that pristine wilderness and saying, well, that's a south-facing slope. I can't use that for skiing, so I'm willing to get rid of that. So I agree with you. I understand that's important, pristine wilderness, but their concern is about making money, and that's all they're concerned about. And so taking them at face value, I mean, yes, we need to take them at face value. They've got the camel's got its nose in the tent. It's got its head in the tent. It's got its neck in the tent. And this land swap is going to get the whole body in the tent. And so, you know, yes, you'll have Mount Superior and all these other places you named, and I've never been to any of them, but a lot of people have. I've been at American Fork Canyon dozens and dozens, hundreds of times, camped up there as a Boy Scout, etc. And so I think we've been left out of this intentionally, because that's what developers do. And so now American Fork not American Fork, but Utah Valley is finally getting involved, because now we're aware of the encroachment into American Fork Canyon. and we haven't been aware in the past. And so I would say to all of you, just be aware of what you're up against. This is a machine that's about making money, and that's really all they're concerned about.
Okay. Sure.
I just want to add one thing. Several of the questions that were asked to me tonight were about the meeting that Mountain Accord has in the middle part of July sometime. And part of what I should have said is that that board, the Mountain Accord Executive Board, they make recommendations, okay? But it's not, you know, Carl from Save Our Canyons is on the executive board with a lot of other folks. But it's a recommendation. It's far from a done deal. It still has to go through all sorts of public hearings. It goes through congressional hearings. It goes through the NEPA process. So I just wanted to clarify that that's not like a final decision. It's a recommendation. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm Bill Lee. I'm a Utah County Commissioner. And I came here on an informational basis too. There's a couple concerns I have. One, and I think it's been voiced over and over, and that's that it seems like everything's been happening on that side of the mountain. I'm worried about the process over here. That's kind of where my concern is. It's new enough. I'm a new enough commissioner that there's a lot of questions that I have. And that's the reason why I come to listen to see, you know, what's being done here or what's being said. But I am concerned about the NEPA process. I worked with Senator Mike Lee for 3 years. I know what that means when we're going through the NEPA process. I know what that means when we're starting that process, because it's a long, drawn-out process with a lot of public hearings. But after we go through the NEPA process, if it's favorable, believe me, it's really hard to kind of backstep. So I'm concerned that that the mayors in the county and the citizens in this area haven't had enough time and exposure, and you know, and I just wanted to say that to let you know that
What can
there's
you
some
do?
concern.
I mean, is there anything that right off the mind that you can think that you can do as a commissioner to maybe just put a stop to that, or at least put a hold on this?
Well, I think that it's the process is something that we need to go through and talk about. My concern again is the newness of it, because everything, when I was working for Senator Mike Lee's office, you know, this has been talked about for some time. We've gone through this is the second forest ranger that's come in where we're talked about this, and it kind of died. And then all of a sudden it's come back up, and now there's this land swap that seems to be this critical key point, which I personally don't have enough information on. I know I've talked with Bob. Bob came down and spoke with us, you know, and talked about it. At one point in time, I know the commissioners had in place a text amendment, and Bob would probably have more information on that. It was basically saying, let's keep this over in Salt Lake County and let's not let it come over here into Utah County. There has to be a few changes. You know, going from CE1 to CE2 is typical county. You know, it's a county zoning process that you go through. So those are the types of things that I would like more information on as we're moving forward, and that's kind of the reason why I'm here, is to find out more about what's happening, hear the voices, and hear both sides of the voices, and see what we can and can't do.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here tonight. And if we could just say this, they'll never hear it, but I want to thank the Fox Hollow Golf Course. It's our backyard, and I appreciate it. If you could do nothing more, tell your friends, next time you have a company golf tournament, bring it here, because we can use this facility, and they're very gracious to let us use it. So thank you for coming, and stay on Facebook and all those touches that we have together.